One man, one daughter, one world. The night was quiet, except for the muffled sobs of a little girl clinging to her father's shirt. Her world had just shattered. Her mother was gone. In the silence of their small home, only two hearts beat against the weight of grief, a man and his daughter. From that moment on, it was no longer about what they lost, but about how he would keep the only world she had left from falling apart. Rashid had never imagined he would be both father and mother. Life had always felt balanced, his wife's laughter filling the home, her gentle hands guiding their daughter Aisha, while he provided and protected. But death does not knock politely, barges in, stealing the warmth of a home and leaving behind an emptiness that echoes. Rashid stood at that edge, looking at his daughter's tear-filled eyes, and made himself a promise. If I am all she has, then I will be her everything. The days that followed were brutal. Mornings were heavy with silence, breakfast plates untouched, because Aisha refused to eat without her mother's hand feeding her. Rashid burned toast, overcooked rice, and stumbled through braiding her hair, sometimes making her laugh, sometimes making her cry. Nights were worse. Aisha would wake up crying, calling for her mother, and Rashid would sit beside her, holding her small hand in his rough one, whispering stories he made up on the spot just to lull her back to sleep. Work became harder. His boss grew impatient. When Rashid asked to leave early for school pickups or parent-teacher meetings, some nights he brought work home, trying to finish it while helping Aisha with her homework. Bills piled up, exhaustion took over, but he never once complained, because every time he looked at her, he reminded himself she was his entire world. There were moments he almost broke, like the day Aisha asked him, "Baba, why did God take Mama away? Wasn't I good enough to keep her here?" That single question pierced him deeper than any hardship ever could. He hugged her tightly, tears streaming down his face, and said, "Beta, God doesn't take love away. Mama is still here in your smile and your kindness, in the way you make me strong every day." Slowly, Rashid learned. He learned to cook her favorite biryani, not as perfect as her mother's, but enough to make her smile. He learned to attend school events, sitting nervously among mothers, clapping the loudest when Aisha performed. He learned to comb her hair neatly, pack her lunchbox with little notes, and even sew her torn school uniform late at night. Life still tested them. One day when Aisha was 12, she felt terribly sick. Doctors advised expensive treatment Rashid could barely afford. He sold his motorbike, worked double shifts, and even skipped meals to save money. He would come home exhausted but still sit by her bedside, reading aloud her favorite stories. Carried her hope when hers faltered, whispering, "We're in this together, Mayan. One man, one daughter, against the whole world, and we will win." And they did. Aisha recovered. But more than that, she grew stronger, not just in health but in spirit. She began to see the sacrifices her father made, the nights he spent awake, the dreams he put aside to make hers possible. She became determined to make him proud. Years passed and Rashid watched his little girl blossom. From holding her trembling hand on her first day of school, to holding back tears on the day she graduated with honors, he realized something: he hadn't just raised her. She had raised him too. She taught him patience, resilience, and the power of love that doesn't give up. On the evening of her graduation, as she stood in her cap and gown, Aisha looked at him in the crowd. Instead of clapping, Rashid had both hands pressed together, eyes shimmering with pride. When she finally hugged him, she whispered, "Baba, you gave me the world, even when you had nothing. Now it's my turn. From today onward, it's not just you carrying me, it's me carrying you too." Rashid broke down, holding her as tightly as the day he promised never to let her go. In that embrace, he realized that the promise he made years ago was fulfilled not perfectly, not easily, but completely. Because sometimes it only takes one man, one daughter, to conquer one world. Message: life may strip us of what we think we cannot live without, but love, sacrifice, and resilience can build a world strong enough for two hearts to survive, grow, and thrive together.